is Jim Rockford. Don't leave your name and message. I'll get to you.
Jim, it's Shirley at the cleaners. You know that brown jacket? The one I said looked so great on you? Your favorite? We lost it.
If Jim Rockford would have gone to Young's Dry Cleaning, they wouldn't have lost his favorite jacket. They've been doing it since 1940, 83 years of excellence. You don't like your dry cleaner? Get rid of them. Go to the best. YoungsDryCleaning.com. YoungsDryCleaning.com. Jim Rockford wished he used Young's Dry Cleaning. He'd still have his favorite jacket. YoungsDryCleaning.com. Yeah, you right. Corey Johnson back at you on a Friday afternoon, New Orleans. What a gorgeous day, huh? Get outside already. Enjoy this wonderful weather. Blue skies today, tomorrow, Sunday, into Monday, maybe even Tuesday. Boy, waking up 40, windy. Then by around 11, noonish, things started not warming up, but from cold to cool. It's still kind of, I don't want to say, I guess it's still cool outside. It's definitely not hot. It's definitely not humid. I'm going to guess like 60-ish degrees. Let's see real quick what it is. 58 and sunny. That was close. Humidity's at a low 47%. It's just really nice. Tomorrow morning, we'll wake up again in the 40s, but then it'll get like this, almost to 60 degrees. Sunday and Monday, we'll wake up in the 50s, and it will get into the 60s. But again, just gorgeous, blue sky, sunny, almost a cloudless sky out there. Drop some coals tonight. Boil some crawfish. Go check out a parade. Get outside already. It's that nice. As good a weather as it gets right now in New Orleans. You're stuck inside the office for a little while? Yeah, pull the old smoking gimmick. I've taken up smoking 5 minutes ago. And go outside with your buddies that smoke and make sure you're upwind from them. And then go, you know what? I'm not going to smoke. And take the little smoking break anyway just to get outside because the weather is fantastico. We got another edition, the Fantasy Friday edition of the program. It makes sense since it's Friday. Coming up in a few minutes, Fletcher Mackel, normally at 4:20. I think he's going to join us around 4:40-ish, a little later than normal. That's a blessing, isn't it? 5 o'clock powwow, as good as it gets, sort of the diametric opposite of Fletcher. A good guy, a humble guy, an award-winning guy, a winner. Frank Brigtsen will join us in the 5 o'clock power hour around 5:20, talking food and all kind of other good stuff. That's how we do it on a Fantasy Friday edition of the program. Hey, by the way, the 5 o'clock power, the 4 o'clock hour, I'm getting ahead of myself. I want the weekend to start already. Slow down, Corey, slow your roll. The 4 o'clock hour brought to you by Fausto's Italian Bistro on Vets. You might see me in there tonight. I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing for dinner. That veal piccata sure seems like a good call. As good as it gets anywhere. New York, Italy, just panade, little slithers of veal, little cutlets of veal with this lemony piccata sauce, which is outstanding. I'm not a capers guy. I get it sans the capers. But, you know, if I were you, if I were serving it, I'd serve it with the capers. I'd do it exactly like Fausto's does it for the general public. We've had this discussion before. I like my roast beef po' boy plain, meat, bread, and gravy only. But that's me. If I were selling roast beef po' boys, I'd have mayonnaise on them and lettuce and tomato. Anyway, yeah, the capers, the lemony sauce, the little veal cutlets, the little slices of veal. So good. Get a little fettuccine Alfredo on the side. Get him to put a little of that cracked black pepper, fresh cracked black pepper on. Oh, so good. Fausto's Italian Bistro tonight for dinner. They're open till 10 p.m. They open their doors in about 45 minutes. And they roll till 10 p.m. on a night like this, especially if you get there, while it's still daylight, 5:15, 5:30, outdoor dining at Fausto's. Sit at the bar, check out some sports action, or dine in the restaurant. Great service, parking right in front, convenient for a lot of folks, and some of the city's best Sicilian and Italian, period, end of story. Fausto's Italian Bistro, 4 o'clock hour this afternoon, brought to you by Fausto's. Hey, how do Republicans one-up the Democrats and their dopey socialist agenda? I mean, if you're wondering, Democrats, why you're losing Latinos each and every day, because a lot of Latinos come from a socialist country down south, and they come to America and they go, my God, freedom, not some socialist, communist type of government. How do Republicans one-up the Democrats and their dopey socialist agenda? Wear assault weapon pins on your lapel. Have you seen this, Jason? Well, good. You don't need to see it. Handing out little AR-15 rifle pins, and they're actually putting them on their lapel. I mean, you are good. You don't need to see that. It's a dumpster fire. Hey, Jason, this is terrible. Try it. Boy, this smells bad. Smell this, Jason. It's that kind of thing. You're right. You are good, and you don't need to see it. I couldn't believe that. Handing out AR-15 assault weapon pins for the lapel. Just crazy. You have folks that shoot guns. I just bought some ammunition. I was on the North Shore in Robert, Louisiana, with a friend of mine who has a gun range. And this guy was showing me exactly how to shoot a 9mm. I was going to like Academy and even like Walmart. It's like $20 a box for like 50 9mm bullets, 50 rounds. So I bought bulk. I bought like 1,000 rounds. I think I told the story a few weeks ago. They leave it on the stoop of my house and the box says ammunition. I was like, really? In New Orleans? A box on the stoop that says ammunition? Probably not the best idea from the folks I got it from, I guess it was FedEx, not UPS, either one. U.S. Mail. I don't think you should have a box. I mean, I don't know. That's kind of crazy in New Orleans. Anyway, when you buy in bulk, it's a lot cheaper. I go to this range, and this guy taught me how to shoot the gun. We read rules. He's like, read these rules. He's got a sign with like 4 rules about guns that are just common sense. He's not saying look at him. He's read them out loud. Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. We didn't shoot the pistol for about 45 minutes. Learned how to load it. Learned how to hold it properly. Pulling it out of the holster. Putting it down with the front end of the gun away from you and in the ground. Putting the other hand on it, pulling it up to the target and shooting. No, it's fun. Target shooting was fun. These aren't gun zealots. These are gun experts. Professional folks that happen to shoot, that have a range, that know what they're doing. They understand the seriousness of what a gun is. There's a reason why a bunch of people get shot when these criminals in inner cities like New Orleans go on a shooting spree. They do not understand what a gun is about. They know it kills someone if the bullet hits them, potentially. At the very least, if the bullet hits them, it harms them. But they just spray bullets everywhere. The sideways gimmick, that's why a bunch of other people get shot. They do not know what they're doing. Rarely hit the target. Hit everything but the target. These, my house, my truck's protected by Smith & Wesson, that kind of bumper sticker dolt, the gun zealot. He gets in a gunfight that he so desperately wants to get into, more likely to shoot his foot, his wife, the dog, the kids, anything but the target, the perpetrator. They think they'll shoot him. Don't respect guns, don't understand guns. And these dopes on the House or Senate floor with these AR-15 lapel pins probably have never shot an assault rifle or a pistol, wouldn't know how to handle one, shoot themselves, just Utterly ridiculous. Yeah. How do Republicans one up the dopey Democrats with that socialist agenda? AR-15 lapel pins. That's what we have going on up in Washington, D.C. All I can hope for is this angle, this kind of telling it like it is that I've been throwing out there about these extremists on the left and right. The needs of the few outweigh the needs of the many, not willing to work with the other side. The other side is the enemy. It's like in New Orleans. Republicans are the enemy. They're evil. They're racist. Hopefully, enough folks, momentum builds, and we start electing folks that'll work with the other side. AR-15 lapel pins. That is going nowhere for us.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, the premier day spa experience, now with 4 area locations. Canal at Carrollton, on the North Shore in Slidell, in Baton Rouge by the Mall of Louisiana, and now in Metairie, West Esplanade at Transcontinental. The Woodhouse Day Spa.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
When you think of Fury's restaurant in Metairie, you think about fresh local fish like flounder, snapper, and speckled trout, fried, broiled, or grilled. Fury's restaurant in Metairie.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, fuller part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof, now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anyway. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
When a young man comes in and they walk into our store and you can see they're a little intimidated. Last week, I saw the young man. I said, "Hey, what can I do to give you a hand?" And he said, "Well, I'm here for an engagement ring, but I don't think I'm in the right place." So I got him to my desk, and within an hour, he had purchased an engagement ring, had spent $1,000, and he was treated like he spent a lot more, and I'm sure we have a customer for life. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day. By river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
For the city. ladies, total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, no cool socks. NoAC.com, no cool socks.
Yeah, you right. Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson back at you. A Fantasy Friday edition of the program. Rouse's Markets phone lines are open. 504-766-9480. 766-9480. We don't screen calls like the other guys. We don't cut you off if we disagree. I don't talk over you and kind of put you on hold and then babble for a minute. Hey, thanks, Jim, for the call. It's like Jim's been gone for a minute. I don't want to say prefer someone that disagrees, but I like having a conversation, not an argument, a little debate, a disagreement, and I'm listening. I'm not scared to say, you know what? You're right. I'm wrong. Rouse's Markets phone line, 766-9480. How do Republicans one-up the Democrats and their dopey socialist agenda? Wear assault weapon pins on their lapel. This polarizing political environment we're living in right now is a nightmare. It really is. And in, I don't know how long, 10, 20, 30 years, when history looks back on this, these hardcore right-wingers, these lunatic left-wing folks that refuse to work with the other side, it's going to be an embarrassment. History will not look upon them in a kind light. I mean, look at New Orleans right now. Broken New Orleans. Now, I'm not sitting going, man, all Republicans are the answer. But my God, some Republicans somewhere, there's 7 members on the city council. At best, you've got maybe one like blue dog Democrat, maybe a couple of moderate Democrats. Most of them are lunatic liberal, like socialist, kind of extreme left wing, very, very, very liberal. Like almost regular Democrats are like, don't hook those folks to my wagon. I'm a liberal Democrat, like a Bill Maher type. Can't stand this woke, liberal that's out there. That's New Orleans politics. I don't know if there is, and maybe I'm wrong, I don't know if there is a Republican elected official in Orleans Parish. And there seems to be this sentiment that Republicans are evil, they're the enemy, they're racist, just universally. And it's absolutely insane. New Orleans, especially, could use some conservative ideals on the council, in city government. It's hyper woke and it's hyper broken. One side is a problem. Anyone that thinks their side has all the solutions, you're part of the problem. I mean, vote Democrat if that's what you like. Vote Republican, but my God, try to look at the candidates. Maybe the Democrat or Republican that you want to pull for because there's a D or R behind their name isn't the right choice, isn't the best choice. The other person that maybe is not how you regularly vote is the one you should vote for. I mean, even the state of Louisiana, which is wacky right, evangelical, wacky right, extreme. Mainstream Republicans, conservatives are like, don't hook those folks to my wagon. The Jeff Landry types, they're cuckoo, no substance, just about a bunch of yapping. Even the state of Louisiana, not once, but twice, elected a Democrat governor. And you can say, man, he's a blue dog Democrat, whatever. He's anti-abortion, he's pro-guns, whoop-de-doo. John Bel Edwards isn't lying about being a Democrat, brought Medicare in, Medicaid, it didn't run from that. Doesn't follow some Bobby Jindal extreme agenda. It's a Democrat. Who would claim to be a Democrat or Republican that isn't that? I mean, who would claim to be that? This rhino stuff. I like rhinos. If Liz Cheney's a rhino, I like Liz Cheney. There's a thing called ethics, integrity, morals. Someone you can count on being consistent, not flaky, not wishy-washy. There's no Democrat or liberal anywhere, even a blue dog Democrat that's going to go, yeah, Liz Cheney's pretty, center Republican, maybe left-leaning Republican. Liz Cheney is a staunch conservative her entire life. Her father's Dick Cheney. Are you kidding me? She's just not a populist Trump follower. That's it. It is embarrassing what we're dealing with right now. The needs of the few outweigh the needs of the many. No, even wacky right-wing Louisiana elected John Bel Edwards not once, but twice. New Orleans is more hyper-woke, loony liberal than Louisiana is wacky right, and that is saying something because the state and the city are both broken because they're so one-sided. So one-sided. Republicans control the state, essentially, Senate, House, and Democrats, 110%, liberals control New Orleans. And both are broken. I mean, what more examples do I need to throw out there? Some of the best times in our country's history, economy, vibrant, economy, folks, things going in the right direction, folks pretty happy. Bill Clinton is president, Republican Congress. Ronald Reagan is president, Democrat Congress. To get things done, at least back then, you had to bend a little bit. Each side bent to get things done because the goal was to get things done. Not anymore. The goal is just to sabotage the other side. And if you got the votes, take advantage of it and push in some agenda that's extreme left or right. Now, how do Republicans one-up the Democrats in their dopey socialist agenda, this anti-America, anti-capitalist agenda? Wear assault weapon pins on their lapel. little AR-15 pins on the lapel. Just crazy. Insane. That doesn't, hey, I'm for the Second Amendment. No, that means I'm stupid. I'm an idiot. I mean, personally, I know lots of Republicans, lots of Democrats. I know some folks that are pretty hardcore. I don't know a single person. I've never met a human being that's like, hey, let's get rid of the Second Amendment. Now, do they exist in America? Yeah, I'm sure we can Google somebody we got to get rid of all guns. Be like this country. Now, I am for getting rid of assault weapons, AR-15 type weapons. We had that under Reagan and under Clinton. Huge clip magazines. Just unnecessary, dopey stuff. Anyone, man, I got an AR-15 and a hunt with it. There's a better weapon, whatever you're hunting, birds, deer, whatever, and you're using an AR-15, there's a better, more effective weapon for hunting than that gun. It's not even close. Those weapons were designed, they're number one, if it was definition, number one, to kill multiple people. To shoot and kill multiple people at one time. That's their number one goal, their number one design. That's what the manufacturer created them for, mostly. Wasn't for hunting at all. No, the lunatic liberals wonder why Latinos are running from the Democrat Party, because a lot of them come from socialist countries, and they love America, land of opportunity. They love it. And they're like, boy, you're for socialism? For communism, essentially? Just crazy. But then the Republicans, man, I got to come up with something that tops that. I'm going to pass out a box of these AR-15 pins for the lapel. Just insane. Hey, Rouse's Markets phone lines are open, 766-9480. 766-9480. I know what I'm saying and I know what I'm doing. I've been doing this for 30 years. It's talk radio. Left wing, Air America does not work. A bunch of comedians that are whining instead of telling jokes, that crashed and burned immediately. I think 14 of the 15 most popular talk radio programs in America, 14 of 15 are hardcore conservative based. If my goal was to, hey, make the most popular show where I can make the most money, I guess it would be selling out and being a hardcore right winger, because in talk radio, that is king. Hannity, Limbaugh. You can go on and not even know what you're talking about and get a huge audience that craves that AR-15 pin on the lapel type of mentality. So I know that being a registered independent, telling it like it is. I got the best compliment the other day. Corey, someone that listens to your show over a week, they have no idea if you're a Republican or a Democrat. No, and I don't hide who I voted for or, sit on the sideline. I'm in, all in, 110%. I'm a registered independent. No, history will not look back on these folks on the hardcore left and the hardcore right in a kind way. Part of the problem. But these folks don't care. They are locked and loaded, no pun intended, in their way of thinking, and there's no way to get off of it. And a lot of you folks out there that are hardcore left and hardcore right, there's no convincing you, It's like, hey, I'm a Ford F-150 guy. You like the Silverado. You're never going to buy a Ford. I'm never going to buy a Chevy. It's like that kind of thinking. And there's no way to get folks off that. The only folks that are the real winners, the moderate Republicans, the moderate Democrats, independents, moderate libertarians, folks that are reasonable, that have common sense, that they're not just locked into their side of thinking. They can, hey, that's a good idea on the other side. Folks that want to work together. No, it's painful. And we've got to tolerate it apparently for, a little more stretch of time before enough citizens say enough's enough and vote another way and only vote for folks that are willing to bend a little bit and actually work with the other side so the citizens actually benefit. It is a Fantasy Friday edition of the program. Corey Johnson with you on radio, television, live streaming. Coming right back.
Hi, everyone. It's Tommy Wrong for AsbestosMoneyGrab.com. This is not, I repeat, not for folks with real asbestos problems. But if you're like me and were maybe taking a shop class in high school where you maybe breathed in some brake dust and you know for certain you're fine, but you're the type of person that takes advantage of these types of situations, get tested, lawyer up, and steal some money like me. Go to I'm not really hurt at all, but like exploiting the system for free cash.com.
Kanye West was seen shopping at Super Discount Store in Chalmette.
I am Shakespeare in the flesh. Walt Disney, Nike, Google.
Okay, I think Kanye was talking about something else entirely. Super Discount Store on Paris Road in Chalmette.
Come to Fausto's Italian Bistro. Age-old Italian recipes like the calamari fritti or spaghetti and meatballs. Lunch Monday to Friday, dinner Monday to Saturday. 530 Vets, a block before Dorignax. Fausto's Italian Bistro.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex, there's something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We're doing all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience. Right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
For us, it's really relationships. And if you care about the relationship, you're going to do the right thing for the customer all the time. When we're in design process of a custom-made piece, I have a test that says, if I wouldn't give this to my wife, I think we should pass and start over. If it's not perfect, it's going back to the shop. We're going to start all the way over. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot. the cities, total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot.
Enjoy outdoor dining on the streetcar line, under the oak trees, Lebanon's Cafe, the finest in Middle Eastern cuisine, Carrollton at Jeanette, Lebanon's Cafe.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Fletcher Mackel. Oh, no, about 10 minutes away on the program. Corey Johnson back at you, a Fantasy Friday edition of the program. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. We had Demetri, Louisiana, a.k.a. New Orleans West, home of traffic, lots and lots of traffic. Scott joins us in Metairie. What up, Scott?
Doing, sir?
How you doing, man?
I'm doing all right. You're right about the traffic. While I'm holding this conversation, I'm trying to simultaneously navigate Cleary and Vet. So I'll see if I can do this safely.
Wow, that you better put both hands on the wheel and focus, bro. That basically from like Bonneville through to like in Vets, it is just a traffic nightmare on a Friday, huh?
It's not a lot of fun. You know, in response to what you were mentioning before, you know, hardcore left and hardcore right. So here's the point. I don't think historically you get to where we are in America without a little pull from the left and a little pull from the right. I don't think you could objectively say that one side got us to where we are. You know, the American experiment has always been a bit of a muddled affair, some of that intentionally, some of it a byproduct of the nature of the system. But you've had this push and pull on both sides, and we've kind of gotten to where we are, the good parts at least, from that sort of, you know, symbiotic sort of left and right pull. One of the problems that we have to figure out is you're running candidates, even if you want to say somebody like Trump, okay? You run a Trump, and everyone's saying how terrible he is and the people who voted for him, but you also have to ask what would make people go to that? In other words, how have the other politicians failed these people for somebody of that character to become a viable option? That's one of the questions. I don't have the answer to it.
You're right. I mean, in New Orleans, I think you could run a cinder block and it might beat LaToya Cantrell at this point.
Hopefully.
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully.
Sure. I'm not 100% sure of that, but it reminds me, and God, I hate to misattribute this quote to somebody, but I want to say it was Desmond Tutu, but boy, if I'm wrong, I'm sorry if anybody knows. He said that at some point you have to stop pulling people out the river and you have to go upstream and figure out why they're falling in the river. And that's pretty profound. And it's kind of fitting to what's going on, because I see a lot of people in trouble, either intellectually or spiritually, or I don't know what the void is. And you can make the case for religion too. I mean, I'm not the world's most religious person. I recently started going back to church, but I think you can make a legitimate case to say in the absence of religion, people make something else their religion. And sometimes it's politics. And
I think that's right. I think you say, Scott, I mean, the old Rush Limbaugh line, mega dittos. I mean, I agree with everything you said. I can't say it too much better than that. I don't think religion's an answer necessarily. And I'm Catholic, I'm Christian. Jesus is my guy. That's my faith. But about a week ago, I was playing golf with a guy who has my faith, and it's the only faith. And then I was talking to this Muslim guy, and he's always pounding Allah, and and I'm just like, how about we just all agree there's a God if you have faith, and it doesn't matter if you're Jewish or Muslim or Christian or whatever, but a lot of those religious folks can get hardcore and extreme, like theirs is the right way and everyone else is wrong. I mean, it's like these folks that have the AR-15 lapel pins. They think like God, seriously, is concerned about the United States of America and Republicans or Democrats. I mean, this is a blip in the whole, if God is who we think he is, this is a blip on the map, a little speck in the whole realm of things. I don't think he's too concerned about the United States of America. God thinks it's the greatest country in the world. I mean, really?
Yeah, it's the zero-sum game thinking. I think the point was, it's not necessarily that religion is the answer. It's that in the absence of it, like you need some, whether people realize it or not, and I didn't even realize it, and I probably still don't to a larger degree, people anchor their lives to something in some way. Yep. Sometimes you don't know what that is. And in the absence of something that might be a little better to anchor your life to, you anchor it to politics, or you anchor it to environmentalism, or you anchor it to something that takes the place of that void. And then it becomes this zero-sum game where what you just said occurs. This is the way it is, and I don't want to hear anything else.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I don't know if it's a void because of lack of religion, but I agree that I think human nature, we like things in a neat package. Scott, it's this, and that's all there is to it. And there's no other option. I mean, life's a lot of gray area, and I think just the human mind doesn't like a gray area. We like certainty, and we can kind of, okay, let's move on. We want things solved and finished, and life's messy. It's not solved and finished for most things, and one constant is change, and a lot of folks don't like that, and I think you make some great points, Scott.
Well, I think it's well said. I think one of the problems is going to be going forward is it's just what type of people are we becoming either through social media? What type of electorate do we have getting these people in office, and why do they get there? And how have other people who have been, like the GOP can never figure out, well, how did Trump get here? And again, I don't use him as an example. I'm not saying, all I'm saying is, they're complaining about a person like that, but then what did you do to make him a viable alternative?
No, you're right.
There's culpability for that.
No, Trump's a good example because he's a populist, and it's like LaToya the Destroyer in New Orleans. I don't know if she's a populist, but there's a racial dynamic there. Like, it's really depressing if you think about it for too long.
Well, look, you could say, if New Orleans was a country, the United States would break off diplomatic relations with it. And I don't think that's an exaggeration.
No, I like to say New Orleans is a third New York, a third Paris, France, and a third Port-au-Prince, Haiti. There's a dysfunction, a brokenness to it. And it doesn't have to be that way. That our culture doesn't require that.
No, it certainly doesn't. And I don't think the people here, I don't think that's what they want, but they buy into this idea. And this is one thing you can say for sure, whether you're left or right. Whatever's happened in New Orleans is the byproduct of a one-party experiment.
Yep.
That's just fact.
And it keeps going and going and going. There's no even light at the end of the tunnel. I can't name an elected conservative or Republican in New Orleans politics. Not one.
Not sure. But the significance of that is now we know the results of that experiment. We don't have to run it again. We know now what the results of that are going to be. Now the question is, are you going to stick to your political guns and go down with it, or are you going to imagine a better future and start putting the things into place to make that future a reality?
Sadly, stick to the political guns and go down with the ship. That's why New Orleans and Louisiana, we're not Charlotte, North Carolina. I remember Buddy Roemer switching from Democrat to Republican. The Republican Party endorses Clyde Holloway, gives us the David Duke Edwin Edwards election. We would have been like Charlotte and North Carolina, a state moving forward, if we would have embraced that going on 35 years ago. No, people like to lose in New Orleans and Louisiana. It's sad, Scott.
Man. I was trying to throw you a life preserver there to give me a little hope, but that didn't work.
No, I'm trying to be realistic. I wish what you said was correct. I wish there was some hope. I don't see it right now, but I'm going to keep banging away. I'm not stopping, and I know you aren't either. Scott, hang on, because your comments were brilliant. I want to tighten you up so you can give the wife, girlfriend, your mom, sister, whatever, a $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate. Don't go anywhere.
I appreciate it, brother. Thank you.
No, it's great stuff you said. That's Scott in Metairie. Common sense. I don't know if he's a Republican or a Democrat. Do you? I just know he's commonsensical. All right, from commonsensical to, I don't know what this is. Fletcher Mackel joins us.
Thank you, Corey. Always a pleasure to be here. A beautiful Friday. I guess I could be doing other things with my time, but no, I'm here.
Are you riding your bicycle with that goofy helmet you wear right now, or no?
No, I haven't rode my bike. That's a good idea, though. Maybe before the sun goes down, I'll go take like a long bike ride here. I'm actually driving home right now. I had an appointment, and I'm in the car headed home.
I told a story yesterday just how much I was talking to someone how much of a jerk Greg Norman was when I met him at English Turn, just rude and terrible. And I remember how Jack Nicklaus, I'm like, hey, Jack, Corey Johnson. He's like, oh, hang on a second, man. I got to deal with my son. And his son comes up number 9 at English Turn. He had played the back first. All of a sudden there's Barbara and all the kids and the wives, like 10 people, and this blob of Nicholas folks just walks away. And then all of a sudden Jack's head pops and goes, Corey. I'm like, oh my God. And so I'm like, he remembered my name. And then we're walking. He goes, let's go do the interview over here. And we had about 100 yards or so to walk. And he goes, where are you from? I'm like, New Orleans. He goes, Frank Mackel, man, right away. First thing out of Jack Nicklaus's mouth to me, I'm not making this up, Frank Mackel, and tells a little Mackel story. I'm like, wow, awesome.
I know. I'm glad you remember it and tell it. It's a great story, and it always, it's one of those things you like hearing. So I always like when you tell it.
Yep. No, it is. It's a true story. It's a great story. We're walking across the parking lot. Somebody runs by. And is like, hey, Jack, I played so-and-so hole number 13. It's so hard. And the guy just walks off, and Nicholas looks at me. And this is sort of a, regular everyday comment, not that everyone's heard, but coming out of Jack Nicklaus, he goes, yeah, Arnold Palmer and I were walking one time. Someone said that, and the guy walks off, and Arnold Palmer goes, yep, opinions are like blank. Everyone's got one. And I was just I'm laughing. I mean, coming out of Jack Nicklaus and referencing Palmer, I thought that was pure gold. Anyway, yeah, your dad was the champ. He was the best, just a smart, kind, humble, a go-getter that got things done. And then there's you. Geesh. Anyway, hey, Fletch, hang on a second. We're going to come back and talk some sports, all right?
All right.
That's Fletcher Mackel. He's a good guy, too. Don't move.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Being a part of people's lives, from an engagement ring to a wedding band. Before you know it, the wedding day is here, and groom and bride are exchanging gifts on that day. And not too long after that, there's baby gifts to have. And I just enjoy being part of other people's family, saying, Mr. Friend did my engagement ring, and he did my mom and dad's engagement ring. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
If you love Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City, you're going to love Bienvenue in Harahan. The same folks bringing a little of that New Orleans flavor to Hickory Avenue. If you love Katie's, come to Bienvenue on Hickory Avenue in Harahan. Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com. Rouse's Markets means convenience. Every one of our 65 locations opens at 7 a.m., some at 6:30, and they're open until 10 p.m., with some staying open till 11 or even midnight. Convenience. Rouse's Markets. Tastes like home.
Ford F-150, #1 seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see. What about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamarck team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamarck Ford. We became number one for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
Have a painting project but can't decide on the perfect color? At Helm Paint and Decorating, we offer half-pint paint samples in any Benjamin Moore color for under $5, so you can test potential paint colors before investing in a full gallon.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
Which Metro New Orleans area restaurant made CNN's top 50 in America and ThrillList.com's top 25 and has served presidents at the White House for over 40 years? Trey Yen in Mandeville.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
When you think of Fury's restaurant in Metairie, you think about the freshest local seafood anywhere. Shrimp, oysters, speckled trout, flounder, snapper, soft shells, crawfish. Fury's restaurant in Metairie.
Recently, Kim Kardashian was seen at Super Discount Store in Chalmette.
Let's party.
Can you think of any other celebrities that won't sue us? Super Discount Store in Chalmette. The lowest prices allowed by Louisiana law on wine, alcohol, and cold beer. 3235 Paris Road.
The city's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa with 4 area locations: New Orleans, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and Metairie. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. NOLA.woodhousespas.com.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. Yeah, you, right. Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson back at you. Another edition of Fridays with Fletch. Hey, Fletch, earlier this week, I guess it was Tuesday, breaking news, Sean Payton of Denver. Saints get a first-round selection in this year's draft, 29th overall, and they'll get Denver's second-round pick next year. I kind of think Sean Payton wins. He's back in coaching. The Denver Broncos get a dynamic winning coach, and the Saints get Sean Payton in the rearview mirror and get a first-round pick and a second-round selection for next year. I mean, I guess you can argue, hey, they could have done better, could have done worse. I think it's a win-win-win. What do you think?
So let me go ahead and say I agree with you 110%, and I'm going to add on. It's a win-win-win what you just said. It's also a win for Russell Wilson because he needs someone like Sean Payton to fix him. And it's also a win for all of us in the media that they did it now and not like on Fat Tuesday in 2 weeks and blew up Mardi Gras for all of us that enjoy covering Mardi Gras here in New Orleans.
Well, forget about that. It would have been a drag if he goes back to Fox and the shadow of Payton still exists for Dennis Allen and the Saints organization. That would have been even worse, this lingering thing for another year, right?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm joking, obviously.
No, I know.
You know, because again, we thought the timing of it was pretty funny. One of my colleagues in the media said that, where he goes, can you imagine if this would have happened like the night of Muses or something when everybody's doing Carnival coverage? But I agree. Look, I've been saying that for a long time. His presence loomed large over there. It still does. So getting the ghost of Sean Payton out of the building, so to say, look, he's always going to be one of, if not the most important person, the second most important person with Drew Brees, probably in the history of the franchise, depending on what they do going forward. But probably one of the top 3 people in the history of the franchise. Again, he'll be remembered here as a legend forever. He's now in the AFC. The Saints are only going to have to face him every 4 years. He's back in coaching. You know, it's definitely closed here. You know, if Dennis Allen opens up 0-3, we don't have to worry about thousands of people with the pitchforks. Bring Sean back. They may have the pitchforks to run Dennis out of town, but there's no more Sean Payton safety net of, can we get him back? What would it take to bring him back? The Sean Payton chapter in New Orleans is officially over.
Hey, Russell Wilson's a Hall of Fame quarterback. Drew Brees said on some ESPN show, these next 7 or 8 years are positioned to be the best of Russell Wilson's career. I think he's 33. I mean, I kind of say like the next 5 years or so, but there was a question on Twitter, will Sean Payton get Russ to cook again? I said, yes, yes, and yes. He'll be in the Pro Bowl this season, and that's saying a lot considering the quality of quarterbacks in the AFC. Agree or disagree?
I would lean more towards agree. I don't know if I would go definite because of what you said, because of Mahomes and Burrow and Allen and and Herbert.
Yep.
So, but I would say this: I think Russell Wilson, people discounting him, saying he's washed.
It's ridiculous.
That's ridiculous to me. I agree with you. That's ridiculous. So I don't know if he's going to become the best quarterback in the AFC, but I would say yes. He's got some Pro Bowls and a lot of winning left in him.
If Denver, if Sean Payton wants to, he talks the talk, if he wants to walk the walk, and hey, trade Russell Wilson to the Saints for Taysom Hill, take that trade all day, every day, all the time, right?
Yeah, but the thing is, and that's the one thing that's interesting about Payton taking this job, they are absolutely locked into Russell Wilson. If they trade him, cut him, or keep him, they are locked in Denver. The way they structured that extension with him, when they traded for him, they cannot get rid of him. Like, if they get rid of him, it's something like a $50 million dead cap hit. You'd basically be cratering a season if you traded him. So Sean Payton had to know, at least for the next 3 years, and I hear Payton's deal is going to be 5 or 6 years, but for the next 3, Russell's your guy, no doubt about it.
And you consider and talk about ownership and the front office. Payton always brings that up. The number one thing for Sean Payton, I think clearly ahead of ownership and front office. I mean, he doesn't want bad ownership and a bad front office. Quarterback already in place. So I think one of the reasons he took the Denver gig, the number one reason, Russell Wilson's there at quarterback.
And here's the thing. People forget it's quick. Jeff Ireland told us this at the Senior Bowl this week. He goes, it's amazing, even in NFL circles, but even more so in the media, how quickly people want to anoint the next great person or just destroy somebody who was great. A year ago at this time, Russell Wilson was traded for 2 firsts and 2 seconds, and the Broncos had the 3rd best odds in the AFC to make the Super Bowl. So again, how quickly we forget how great Russell Wilson once was. So again, I just think that Sean Payton knows he's got a lot of good football left in him. He's going to a team that has a great defense. He's just got to make sure that O-line and ground game get it straight, because I think he knows he can fix Russell.
All right, what is it? Sula Kim, is that the girl at Channel 6?
Sula Kim, yes, she's one of our anchors. Right. Really great person.
Pretend I'm her. Hey, Fletch, you have 30 seconds. Sheesh.
Okay.
All right, Wheel of Fortune's coming up next, or whatever you guys run. Boy, the Pels, man. What were they? 23-12, and now they're like 3-15 or something in the last 18 games or so. I mean, I know I'm warm. Jeez, huh?
Yeah, it's as bad of a nosedive as I can remember. 10 straight losses. They've fallen from 3rd in the Western Conference to 10th. They need Zion back because he's their universe, and they got to get some wins. Like start stacking some wins.
Yeah, I mean, Brandon Ingram back, getting his groove. That's a good thing. But my God, they need Zion Williamson because there's no redoing this roster.
No, and look, he's going to make everybody better. CJ McCollum's a really good player. Ingram's a good player. Without Zion, you see they're lost. Everything, their world revolves around him.
Yep. You hear Blue Boy Fletch? Fletcher's a good guy. He makes some good points. You hear him, Blue Boy? That's amazing. Thanks, Fletch.
All All right, Corey.
That's Fletcher Mackel. That's Blue Boy saying stick around for the 5 o'clock powwow.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson.
Easy,
on
buddy.
TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum
Down,
Channel
Blue Boy, you're very
333.
excited.
Also on YouTube. On radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
Hi, it's Ken Friend from Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business. Come see us over on Maple Street in Uptown.
Friend and Company Fine Jewelers Breitling time, 5 p.m.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live. We live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
If you are a loved one or suffering from addiction, listen to Springfield Wellness Center's founder, Paula Norris Metier.
I feel personally, when I walk around on the grounds, that it's sacred ground. It's healing. Just the environment is healing. Just being here makes one feel like that, I can let go. I can let go of the worry. I can let go of the stress that I've been carrying around for a long time. We don't shame anybody. We don't blame anybody. We don't judge anyone. Just that alone really is the foundation on which everything else that we do is done.
Put your addiction behind you. Call Springfield Wellness Center, 504-291-4000.
For you.
504-291-4000. 291-4000. Springfield Wellness Center. Springfield Wellness.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, NOLA.com.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
Where can you find shish kebab in New Orleans? Lamb, beef, chicken, shrimp, plus all your other Mediterranean favorites. Lebanon's Cafe on the streetcar line. Lunch, dinner, and shish kebab. Lebanon's Cafe.
When a young man comes in and they walk into our store and you can see they're a little intimidated. Last week, I saw the young man. I said, hey, what can I do to give you a hand? And he said, well, I'm here for an engagement ring, but I don't think I'm in the right place. So I got him to my desk, and within an hour, he had purchased an engagement ring, had spent $1,000, and he was treated like he spent a lot more, and I'm sure we have a customer for life. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, the premier day spa experience, is now more convenient than ever. Now open, the Woodhouse Day Spa, Metairie location, West Esplanade at Transcontinental. Metairie and Kenner's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa.
When you think of Fury's restaurant in Metairie, you think about their daily lunch specials like red beans and rice, black-eyed peas, white butter beans, liver and onions. Daily lunch specials. Fury's restaurant in Metairie.
Hey guys, it's Frank Smith from LasVegasGambling.com with your weekend 5-star lock of the week. Lock of the week. Take the Lakers and the points over the Clippers. Sell the house, sell the boat, sell your children. Send grandma away and take the money. Put everything you've got on this 5-star selection. It's the Lakers over the Clippers. And we've also got a fantastic 5-star parlay as well. Call us now, 888-555-7777. It's Frank Smith, a.k.a. The Hammer, from LasVegasGambling.com. Do it now.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Hey, it's Tom Selleck. If you're thinking about doing a reverse mortgage, I've got the perfect company for you. It's the Joe Blow Reverse Mortgage Company. And even though I'm a multimillionaire and own about 5 different properties and I'd never, ever think of doing a reverse mortgage, I'm confident you can trust these folks. I'm Tom Selleck. Get your reverse mortgage now. Let's go to La Jolla. Mr. Drew Brees. Yeah, you right. Thank you, Senor Brees. Number 9, Corey Johnson back at you. Yeah, thanks, Drew, for that intro. 5 o'clock power hour coming your way. Yeah, you right. A Fantasy Friday edition of the program. You know what that means, huh? The weekend's upon us. Mardi Gras season. 2 weeks from Tuesday, Mardi Gras Day. That gets a big yeah, you right from me. Yeah, you right. Losing my breath there. I need some oxygen. I must have moved a little too quickly a second ago. Geesh. Anyway, it is a little bit after 5 p.m. on a Fantasy Friday edition of the program. I love this very time of the week, like most of you do. The weekend's upon us. But I like putting the spotlight on this very moment. Smell the roses. 100% of the work week in the books. 100% of the weekend smack dab in front of us. We recognize this very moment by blowing the 5 o'clock whistle. Heading out of the plant, you got the hard hat under one arm, the lunch pail under the other, and you're smiling because the 5 o'clock whistle. By the way, the 5 o'clock whistle on a Fantasy Friday, a little bit after 5 p.m., appropriately brought to you by Super Discount Store in Chalmette. Yeah, you right. It's Mardi Gras season. You need beer, wine, alcohol, whatever you want to drink. They got you covered at Super Discount Store in Chalmette. And their gimmick, their number one thing, what they do best, they're the only folks that do this. The lowest prices allowed by Louisiana law on wine, alcohol, and cold beer. Doesn't matter if you're buying a single, a 6-pack, a case, or a pallet full. The lowest prices allowed by Louisiana law on wine, alcohol, and cold beer only at Super Discount Store. I mean, Mardi Gras season, a lot of folks are buying in bulk. Cases and cases of beer for the next few weeks. Cases of wine, cases of liquor, alcohol. Maybe you're throwing a few parties. Maybe you're on the parade route. You know, you got to get your supplies. You got to get your wine, alcohol, and cold beer. Why not get it, especially when you're purchasing large quantities? You save even more. Why not get it for the lowest prices allowed by Louisiana law? It's not on select items. It's not a sale. It's on everything, and it's all the time at Super Discount Store in Chalmette. A ridiculously large selection of wine, alcohol, and cold beer. Now, the fluke, and it would be a fluke because they've got such a large selection. The fluke, they don't have what you drink. They'll get it, and you guessed it. It'll be at the lowest prices allowed by Louisiana law, only at Super Discount Store in Chalmette.
Super Discount Store!
Super D, 5 o'clock whistle on a Fantasy Friday, brought to you by Super Discount Store in Chalmette. Hey, speaking of Mardi Gras, I got some old school Mardi Gras trivia for you. Some $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificates available. You heard me right. 50 big bucks. $50. Got some gift cards good at the Woodhouse Day Spa. 4 area locations. A 5th location coming online very, very soon. Hey, guys, don't blow it. Mardi Gras might be 2 weeks from Tuesday. Valentine's Day is a week from Tuesday. Valentine's Day is a week from this Tuesday. You know what she wants? Don't stress out. Oh, God, what am I going to get her? Is she going to like it? You get her a day of relaxation at the Woodhouse Day Spa, and she's going to love it. It's what she wants for Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day is a week from this Tuesday, guys. Get her what she wants. A day of relaxation at the Woodhouse Day Spa, Mid-City, New Orleans, Metairie near North Kenner, on the North Shore in Slidell, in Baton Rouge by the Mall of Louisiana, and coming soon to Mandeville. That's right, a Mandeville Woodhouse Day Spa. You can check them out online, nola.woodhousespas.com. A week from this Tuesday, Valentine's Day. Don't blow it, guys. Get her what she wants. A day of relaxation from the Woodhouse Day Spa. I'll get you jump-started. Some old school neighborhood Mardi Gras parade questions. I love when Mardi Gras was more, localized to the different neighborhoods instead of just the traditional St. Charles Avenue route. I liked when it was in different neighborhoods. The original New Orleans East Parade. Come on, you folks out in the East. What was the original New Orleans East Parade? I used to catch it on Hain Boulevard on a Saturday afternoon, as I recall. Name that original New Orleans East Parade, and I've got 50 big bucks for you at the Woodhouse Day Spa. How about that Uptown Monday Night Parade that hit Napoleon and St. Charles Avenue, but didn't do it from Tchoupitoulas or Claiborne's? Came down another street to Napoleon on Monday night, the old Uptown Parade. Give me the answer to that. 50 big bucks at the Woodhouse Day Spa. How about the original Chalmette Parade down into Paris, St. Bernard, where life was hard? We used to go catch that on West Judge Perez in Chalmette. The original Chalmette Parade. I got a hint for you. Planet is my hint. 2 Gentilly Lakefront Parade questions for you. One was on a Saturday afternoon. I know that doubloon I coveted because they had the silver and the bronze, or the silver and the gold. They had a pink doubloon. You wanted to get that pink doubloon from this parade that, by the way, starts with a P, like pink. That was the coveted doubloon. The 10% of all doubloons were the pink one for this parade. That was on a Saturday afternoon in Gentilly Lakefront area. Then the next Monday night, another parade rolled through Gentilly and the lakefront area. I'm looking for those old school neighborhood parades in the East. Uptown Monday night, down into Parish, a couple in the Gentilly lakefront area. Give me the answer to any of those questions, and I got 50 big bucks for you just in time, a week from Tuesday, Valentine's Day, guys. Don't blow it. Don't avoid it. Maybe I just get by not getting anything. Okay, the doghouse is here. Jeez and Pete's. Get her something that she's going to love, and she's going to love you for doing it. A day of relaxation at the Woodhouse Day Spa. You got any answers to those 5 trivia questions? I got 50 big bucks for you at the Woodhouse. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. 766-9480. Love to hear from you. Love to tighten you up with a $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate. Just in time for Valentine's Day, a week from Tuesday. 766-9480. Rouse's Markets phone lines. You know the area code, New Orleans 504. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. Hey, the 5 o'clock powwow this afternoon brought to you by Friend and Company Fine Jewelers on Maple Street, in between Broadway and Carrollton in Uptown, the Carrollton section of Uptown, right there by, Adams and Cherokee, I believe. It's a cool little retail strip right there on Maple Street in between Broadway and Carrollton. Anchoring that retail strip, Friend and Company Fine Jewelers. New Orleanians that know Friend and Company Fine Jewelers, especially when it comes to engagement rings. Real diamonds, natural diamonds, 1 billion years old. Unlike all these diamond stores you hear about, they should be called faux diamond stores, man-made diamond stores, 3-week-old diamond stores. You're getting an engagement ring, a wedding band for her, something that is a lifetime purchase. Show her that you love her and you mean it by getting her real natural diamonds that are 1 billion. That's with a B, 1 billion years old. Not man-made diamonds that are 3 weeks old that all they do is depreciate. The market's getting flooded by man-made diamonds because they're endless supply. They're man-made. They're 3 weeks old. They can just churn them out. Every minute of every day, of every week, of every month, of every year, those diamonds depreciate in value. The real diamonds, a limited supply, natural diamonds, 1 billion years old, appreciate in value. Get her the real thing, not these fake man-made 3-week-old diamonds. Like I said, New Orleanians that know Friend and Company Fine Jewelers when it comes to engagement rings. Friend and Company Fine Jewelers on Maple Street in between Broadway and Carrollton. The 5 o'clock power hour on this Fantasy Friday, brought to you by Friend and Company Fine Jewelers. Corey Johnson with you on a Friday. Rouse's Markets phone line, 766-9480. The economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Super discount store in Chalmette.
3235 Paris Road.
The lowest price allowed by Louisiana law on wine, alcohol, and beer.
Worth the drive from anywhere.
If you're throwing a party and need wine, alcohol, and cold beer, super discount store in Chalmette.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot.
Come to Fausto's Italian Bistro. Age-old Italian recipes like the calamari fritti or spaghetti and meatballs. Lunch Monday to Friday. Dinner Monday to Saturday. 530 Vets, a block before Dorignax. Fausto's Italian Bistro.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint Supply.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com. Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
For us, it's really relationships. And if you care about the relationship, you're going to do the right thing for the customer all the time. When we're in design process of a custom-made piece, I have a test that says, if I wouldn't give this to my wife, I think we should pass and start over. If it's not perfect, it's going back to the shop. We're going to start all the way over. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
Yeah, you right. I'm glad Frank Brigtsen's going to join us 60 seconds, because how do the Republicans one up the Democrats in their dopey socialist agenda? They hand out little lapel pins with an AR-15. It's an AR-15, a little rifle lapel pin. And in Congress, a lot of Republicans are wearing them on the floor. Crazy. No, we could talk about that, which is kind of ridiculous and depressing. Or we can head to the Carrollton section of Uptown and get a real positive vibe from a super good guy. Frank Brigtsen joins us from his restaurant. They've been at it over 36 years on Dante Street, about 50 yards off Leak Avenue, River Road, about 150 yards from the Mississippi River, which means Uptown folks, mid-city folks, easy to get to. You folks that are in Old Metairie, Old Jefferson, less than 5 minutes to Brigtsen's when you hit that Causeway River Road intersection. You're at Causeway and River Road, you're less than 5 minutes from Brigtsen's. And with that Dante Shopping Center, you know, they shut it down about 5 o'clock, right when Brigtsen's open. With that literally right next door, lots of convenient parking right there, 50 feet from the door of Brigtsen's. Frank Brigtsen joins us on the program again. What's happening, Frank?
Hey, Corey. How about this beautiful evening in New Orleans? Blue skies.
You can't get any better weather than this, huh?
Oh, it's just fabulous. Cold this morning, but really, really warmed up nicely now.
No, it was cold and windy this morning, but sunny. If it was that overcast and humid, it would have just been bone-chilling cold. But you're right. Afternoon, it warmed up. Tomorrow, kind of a similar day. And then Sunday and Monday, it's going to be a like 10 degrees warmer and still blue skies and sunny. So I hope this spills over for Mardi Gras.
Yeah, I do too. We're getting a little taste of spring, and, every couple of days it'll change, but we'll get there.
I think that orange tooth nutria popped up his head and said 6 weeks left in winter or something like that.
We got to name that animal.
Yep. Hey, Frank, a week from Tuesday, Valentine's Day. That quick.
Yeah, it's coming. And you guys and gals that need reservations, you better make them quick, because it's going to be busy all over the city. We'll be here and happy to welcome everyone for a nice meal at Brigtsen's.
A few slots still available a week from this Tuesday?
I think so. I actually haven't looked, but give Marna a call. She's on the phone right now, 861-7610, and let's see what we can do.
That number at Brigtsen's, again, put it in your phone right now, 861-7610, 861-7610. Hey, speaking of openings, how about for tonight or tomorrow night?
I think we got a couple of spots tomorrow. Again, give her a call. I believe there's a couple of spots in the later seating, which is 7:30, 8 o'clock.
I went into your place about 10 days ago. I got the barbecue shrimp, which I shared with my friend Jimmy and his wife. She got the sweetbreads appetizer. I got the, the chicken andouille gumbo. I got it was flounder pecan, which was absolutely incredible. And my friend Jimmy got the flounder pecan. I mean, if it's not speckled trout and it's flounder, like, I don't know, anything like that, I'm pretty happy with. It could be flounder, it could be speckled trout, it could be snapper, any of that with the pecans and that sauce, the meuniere. My God, that's one of the best fish dishes anywhere.
Thank you, and I think it's a uniquely Brigtsen style of meuniere sauce, and we have been a good run with speckled trout this week. We have that for the weekend. Really, really nice. Meuniere means a lot of things to people in New Orleans. Everybody loves it, but it's kind of different everywhere you go.
Yep.
And this is sort of my unique version that really starts the way the French do it, with browned butter in the skillet where you cook the fish, so you get the little brown bits of flour. That's really the essential part of meuniere to me. So the sauce is made to order. After the fish is cooked, we take it out, dump the oil, and brown butter, pecans, green onions, garlic, seasoning, a good shot of Liam Perrins, Worcestershire, crab stock, lemon, and then we emulsify it with more butter. So it's to me everything that New Orleans meuniere is supposed to be.
The meuniere's not in some little hot tray and you scooping ladles of it for every fish dish you make. You're telling me it's made to order?
Every single time. In the restaurant business, that's called à la minute, to the minute.
Wow.
And I think that's really the essential heart of meuniere. The phrase à la meuniere means in the style of the miller's wife, which means that refers to the flour. So those brown bits of flour to me are essential foundation of flavor in the sauce.
Frank, I've gone to places that make their own ketchup. I'm like, just use Heinz. It's great. Liam Perrins is fantastic. Where do you draw the line? Hey, I'm going to make my own Worcestershire sauce. I'm going to make my own ketchup. It seems like when they're high quality products like a Liam Perrins, almost a waste of time to, spend that effort making a Worcestershire sauce.
Well, I think there's some truth to that. I mean, that the act of doing it is a great learning process, but there's certain things I do leave to the professionals, like Liam Perrins, like Heinz ketchup, which I use, and French bread. Our Leidenheimer French loaf is the one thing we don't make in-house. And I wouldn't even attempt to do that because I think this 10-inch loaf that they sell is the best loaf of bread in the city.
Yeah, heat it up with that good butter. That's tough to beat.
Yeah, thin, crispy crust on the outside and warm and soft on the inside. I think it's the best loaf to me. It's
a very good edible sponge for sopping up that barbecue shrimp sauce.
Absolutely. I don't see how you could have that dish without French bread.
No, after you knock out No, go ahead.
What I say about barbecue shrimp is the shrimp are essential, but it's all about the sauce.
Well, you got the shrimp, and then you've got that little fritter cake, which is just really great. It kind of smooths out the sauce. But then once you knock all that out, you got that sauce on the plate just sitting there begging to get sopped up.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's part of New Orleans eating. Every waiter or server in New Orleans has a French bread crumbs scraper so that they can clean the tablecloth. And that's a Creole tradition.
Hey, Frank, let's pretend I've got a reservation tonight and I've never been to Brigtsen's. Hey, Frank, nice to meet you. What should I order tonight?
Well, that's a great question. And I think appetizers, you have a lot of choices right now. Our menu's kind of filled out in the last couple of months. So there's always the barbecue shrimp. We have delicious sea scallops, the big ones, U10s, 10 to the pound and under. And those are served with fontina cheese grits and a mojo piquant, which is sort of a condiment made with roasted peppers pureed. We have the sweetbreads, which I love. This is sort of a classic French method, crispy sweetbreads with mushrooms, capers, and lemon roasted garlic butter. And then for entree, we're continuing with our Carnival theme, doing different meat specials. Last week we did braised lamb shank. This week we're doing braised pork shank. We're doing pork ossobuco.
Wow.
This is a huge slice of pork shank. And that's braised for about 3.5 hours till it's tender with a natural gravy, and that's served over fontina cheese grits with roasted vegetables and potatoes. And this is a gorgeous and delicious cool weather dish.
Like
and it's so good, I think we're going to have it next week as well.
They're like fingerling potatoes, huh?
Well, we use red potatoes quartered, and we start them in a skillet on high heat in olive oil. And once they begin to brown, we put them in the oven. And when they're about halfway done, we add julienne onions and fresh thyme leaves. So it's a version of potatoes lyonnaise, which means it has onions in it.
Yep, so good. Hey, the pork ossobuco, bone intact?
Yes, this we're serving with the bone. It looks just like a traditional veal ossobuco, which is the traditional one, but we did it with pork. The veal is delicious, my favorite, but it's kind of prohibitively expensive. So the pork, one of my purveyors told me she had that. I said, oh yeah, I'm all about that. And they are fantastic. This is Dealer's Pork is the brand, Deeler. And their pork is all natural and beautiful products.
Hey, for the daring customer that might order like the sweetbreads appetizer, do you see some folks knocking out the marrow in that bone?
Some of them are able to do that. Some of the bones are a little small, but it does get into the sauce, and that's part of the braising method. And so it gives it a little added richness.
Hey, it's Mardi Gras season, Frank. You got that covered when it comes to dessert, right?
Yes, we got our king cake bread pudding with cream cheese sauce and an Italian meringue. This is not bread pudding made with king cake. This is a bread pudding made to resemble king cake when you eat it.
Nice.
So it tastes like a cream cheese stuffed king cake. And the Italian meringue is a cooked meringue that we pipe on top, and then we brulee it lightly with a torch, and then garnish it with colored sugars, purple, gold, and green. And it's really fabulous. And so that'll be running through Mardi Gras, and then we'll change to something else.
Hey, you mentioned the pork ossobuco. What other meat entrees you have? The filet, is lamb still on the menu?
No, lamb is done. We had a couple orders left and not enough to really sell. So Chef Larry made staff meal today. He made a lamb and sweet potato curry. Oh my God, it was so good.
Did you say lamb and sweet potato curry? I want some of that. My name's on it.
Yes, indeed. Come get some. I'll put a quart aside. I'm eating when I get home tonight.
That's a smart call. Any chicken still on the menu?
Yes, we have. This is Bell & Evans natural organic chicken, and this is the airline breast, which is pan roasted to order, crispy skin on top, very tender and juicy inside, and that's. We call it chicken Dijonnaise. It's made with the Dijon mustard sauce with a few capers, and that's served with the Lyonnaise potatoes.
That airline chicken breast is boneless, but it's got the drumette hooked on, and that way the skin is on the breast, right?
Yes, exactly. And I know that's one of your favorite cuts of chicken. I think it's delicious. When it's cooked to order like that, it is this Bell & Evans chicken is unbelievably tender and juicy. And so that's really going well. And then for meat, we also have our pan-roasted pork chop with pork debris sauce and mashed potatoes, a literal meat potatoes kind of dish. We have our roast duck à l'orange, which is served with a praline baked sweet potato. We bake the potatoes very tender and split them open, and we add literally crumbled pralines and then reheat it so the pralines melt into the sweet potato.
Wow.
An incredible side dish.
That's insane.
And then the beef fillet, of course, Marchand du Vin, garnished with fried shallot rings. You can see I love French cooking, and it's a big influence in my sensibilities and the way I create my dishes. That's always been my the way I lean is to French techniques because it's so brilliant.
That Marchand de Vin is great. I mean, it's almost like a demi-glace, right?
Yeah, it really is. It's a very rich stock. We saute mushroom. We use tasso. In France, they would use ham. We use tasso, mushroom, shallots, green onions, red wine, and then a strong beef stock. Very, very deep in flavor.
And boy, it's like Moses parting the Red Sea. You take that cut of filet, you run it through the Marchand de Vin. You can see the plate like it's clean, and then the sauce slowly fills the gap after a second or two.
Exactly. I've always been a saucier. I mean, that's my thing. If I could make soups and sauces and go home, I'd be a very happy guy. That's really what I love. And so, when we create new dishes, or as we're doing now, doing different meat dishes, I'm always thinking about the sauce.
Hey, the phone number at Brigtsen's is 861-7610, 861-7610. Get a reservation. They might have a space for you tonight, tomorrow night. They're open Tuesday through Saturday. And a week from this Tuesday, Valentine's Day. What a great place to go for Valentine's night. Brigtsen's in the Riverbend. Hey, Frank, we missing anything?
That's about it, Corey. There's a takeout menu. If you go to our website, there's a takeout menu, but we will make anything on our regular menu for you to take out as well. So don't hesitate to ask. We're happy to do that. You want a porco sobuco tonight or tomorrow, we'll make it for you.
Boy, and that I would imagine is an easy to heat up item. It's almost like you can't overcook it. You could throw it in the oven for about 10 or 15 minutes to reheat it, right?
Oh, yeah, exactly. This dish will travel really well.
Yep. Hey, the website, by the way, is brigtsens.com. Brigtsen spelled BRIGTSENS, brightsens.com. Frank, have a great weekend. Enjoy this weather. Love having you on the program every week.
Always a pleasure, Corey. We love you, New Orleans. Have a great weekend.
Yeah, you're right. That's Frank Brigtsen from Brigtsen's Restaurant in the Riverbend, as good as it gets. 861-7610. 861-7610. I promise you won't be disappointed. The opposite. You'll walk out of there and go, God, that was one of the best meals I've ever had in my life. Brigtsen's in the Riverbend, 861-7610. So good. Hey, it is a Fantasy Friday edition of the program. Corey Johnson with you. I got some $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificates to give away. I was mentioning a week from this Tuesday, Valentine's Day. Yeah, bring her to Brigtsen's. Get her a day of relaxation at the Woodhouse Day Spa. You're set. It's what she wants, guys. I know some of you are like, oh, my God, Valentine's Day is a week from Tuesday. What am I going to get her? Is she going to like it? You get her a day of relaxation from the city's premier day spa, the Woodhouse Day Spa. Is she going to like it? She's going to love it. It's what she wants. If you're really smart, get with your buddy where your wife, his wife, girlfriend, whatever, they're like best friends. Both of you get her a day of relaxation at the Woodhouse Day Spa, and then those two can go together and enjoy that day together. It even takes it up another level. NOLA.woodhousespas.com. If you can't make it to one of the 4 Woodhouse Day Spa locations, you can print your gift certificate, any denomination, online, NOLA.woodhousespas.com. Yeah, I got 5 Mardi Gras related trivia questions. About 30, 40 years ago, you had the old school neighborhood parades that were in each neighborhood, not just the traditional St. Charles Avenue route. What was the original New Orleans East Parade? I used to go to that on a Saturday afternoon on Hain Boulevard. Give me the answer to the original New Orleans East Parade, and I got $50 for you at the Woodhouse Day Spa. 766-9480. Rouse's Markets phone lines to participate. 766-9480. How about the Uptown Monday Night Parade that went down Napoleon in St. Charles, but unlike all the others that either starts on Tchoupitoulas or Claiborne's, this one started on another street. Maybe that's the hint. Give me the name of that Uptown Monday night parade, and I've got 50 big bucks for you at the Woodhouse. How about down into Paris, St. Bernard, where life is hard, hard, hard? I think the original Chalmette parade from 30 or 40 years ago. I used to go catch that on West Judge Perez. Rouse's Markets phone lines to participate to answer our trivia question, 504-766-9480. 504 Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. Not one, but two Gentilly Lakefront old school parade questions. This was on a Saturday afternoon, and the coveted doubloon was pink, and the parade's name starts with the letter P. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. On Monday night in Gentilly and Lakeview, give me that Monday night parade. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. Hey, speaking of Rouse's, it truly is your Mardi Gras headquarters. You walk in any of the 60-plus Rouse's, it smells like Mardi Gras because they're baking king cakes all day long at your Rouse's Market. Some of the best king cakes anywhere, and I mean that. You folks that have had a Rouse's king cake, you know exactly what I'm talking about. They've been doing this for like 40 or 50 years. Their original cinnamon dough with the icing is fantastic. But now they got the cinnamon dough with the icing and about 20 different flavors, fillings. And guess what? You can ship those king cakes to friends or family all around the country. Yeah, it's your Mardi Gras headquarters, 60-plus Rouse's Markets. Best quality, best price, best selection. It tastes like home. It tastes like Mardi Gras. King cakes are a bacon at your neighborhood Rouse's right now. And I love that you can get whole king cakes or king cake by the slice. They sell slices of king cake, one piece. You got to love it. Great king cakes at Rouse's. Yes, send them to friends and family around the country, rouses.com. You can't go wrong with Rouse's. It really is your neighborhood grocery store and your Mardi Gras headquarters, your king cake headquarters. A Fantasy Friday edition of the program. Corey Johnson with you. Rouse's Markets phone lines to participate. 504-766-9480. Don't move.
When you think of Fury's restaurant in Metairie, you think about the freshest local seafood anywhere. Shrimp, oysters, speckled trout, flounder, snapper, soft shells, crawfish. Fury's restaurant in Metairie.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Being a part of people's lives, from an engagement ring to a wedding band. Before you know it, the wedding day is here and groom and bride are exchanging gifts on that day. And not too long after that, there's baby gifts to have. And I just enjoy being part of other people's family, saying, Mr. Friend did my engagement ring and he did my mom and dad's engagement ring. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
Which Metro New Orleans area restaurant made CNN's top 50 in America and ThrillList.com's top 25 and has served presidents at the White House for over 40 years? Trey Yen in Mandeville.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
If you are a loved one or suffering from Parkinson's disease, listen to Springfield Wellness Center's founder, Paula Norris Metier.
People started coming to us and asking for help for things other than addiction. We have a Parkinson's patient here. He comes in once a month and gets his little booster because that's what you have to do. In 2 hours after he started, his tremors in his hands stopped. So he said, Paula, your major marketing challenge is that it's too good to be true. But it's true. It truly is true. We can't say that all of these things have a cure, but these things happen and they're real.
Call Springfield Wellness Center, 504-291-4000.
Just call us. That's all. And we'll be waiting for you.
Make the call, 504-291-4000, 291-4000. Springfield Wellness Center, springfieldwellnesscenter.com.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof, now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anywhere. Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
Hey everyone, it's Casey Kasem with another top 40 hit that's sweeping the nation. Because I'm Vappy.
Because I'm Vappy, supposed to be patrolling the streets as a cop. Instead, I do it my way. Because I'm Vappy, hanging out at the Pentagon apartment with Junket Cantrell all day. Because I'm Vappy, on the clock, not patrolling the streets. Instead, kicking back and still getting paid. Because I'm Vappy, waiting for the cable man, watering plants and chilling, hey, because I'm Vappy on the city payroll, not working, because Montalva's such a nice place to stay, because I'm Vappy earning lots of money, because who wants to work when one can play, because I'm Vappy fighting crime in the city, but hanging with the mayor, got nothing more to say, because I'm Vappy, because I'm Vappy, because I'm Vappy. The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
If you love Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City, you're going to love Bienvenue in Harahan. The same folks bringing a little of that New Orleans flavor to Hickory Avenue. If you love Katie's, come to Bienvenue on Hickory Avenue in Harahan.
As New Orleans as Mardi Gras, Corey Johnson on the neutral ground.
We're all just blocking the street. Come on, I gotta deliver this pizza. Screw it. We won't stop blocking the street. Never stop blocking the street.
Yeah, why aren't you at Katie's right now on a Friday? What a great Friday place. Wind down with friends, family, and then have a great meal at Katie's. Hey, by the way, just blocks away from the Endymion Parade route on Saturday, a week from tomorrow, Endymion will be rolling in Mid-City. Katie's pretty much on the Endymion Parade route. What a good place to go and get some good food, a few drinks, and then walk a couple of blocks, and you're checking out Endymion. After the parade, right back to Katie's on the corner of Iberville, and Tallahassee, which is in between Bienville and Canal Street, in between Carrollton and Doc Francis Parkway. Yeah, why aren't you at Katie's right now? The quintessential New Orleans neighborhood restaurant. And you heard the man, the Katie's of Harahan, Bienvenue. Yeah, you right. Hey, guys, don't blow it. A week from this Tuesday is Valentine's Day. I got a few $50 Woodhouse Day Spot trivia questions, which means I've got some $50 Woodhouse gift certificates to give away. Rouse's Markets phone lines to participate, 766-9480. 766-9480. The original New Orleans East Parade. The Uptown Monday Night Parade. The old original Chalmette Parade. A couple of Gentilly Lakeview questions, the Saturday afternoon parade and the Monday night parade. You got answers for any of those 5 trivia questions? I got 50 big bucks for you at the Woodhouse. And just in time, a week from Tuesday, Valentine's Day, what does she want? A day of relaxation from the Woodhouse Day Spa. Hey, how do Republicans one-up the Democrats with their dopey socialist agenda? Yeah, the extreme Democrats, the loony liberals, and this socialist agenda. If you're wondering, Democrats, why you're losing Latino voters, a lot of them have come into this country from socialist countries. They come to America, they're like, wow, a democracy, capitalism, the land of opportunity. And they remember the restrictions, and even worse, from the socialist dictator type countries they came from. How do the Republicans one-up the Democrats with that dopey socialist agenda? By wearing assault weapon pins on their lapels. Somebody, I don't know, Marjorie Taylor Greene, some idiot gets these little AR-15 pins, about 2 inches across, and a bunch of dopey idiots are scooping them up and wearing them on their lapel on the House and Senate floor. I mean, there's something mentally wrong with you. Bill Cassidy had a tweet, Northeast Louisiana hunters are ready to shoot down that balloon, the Chinese balloon. It's at 60 feet, okay? Unless the wacky right has legalized missiles, 60,000 feet. I don't know, that's about 15, 20,000 feet higher than a commercial airliner flies. Just mind-blowing. What's 60,000 feet in miles? I'm going to guess what? I think it's like about 5,000, 6,000 feet per mile. It's more than 5,000. It's less than 6,000. So it's about 10 miles in the air. 11 and a half miles in the air. Yeah, sorry. There's no hunter in Northeast Louisiana that has a weapon that shoots 11 miles, especially straight up. Just beyond insane and crazy, just dopey comments. And then the shoot it down thing. I got news for you. This isn't the first balloon that has come across our land. And actually, a few came across our land when Donald Trump was president. And we didn't shoot it down. What we have done is neutralize the technology of that balloon as far as spying capability. Just floating across the country. China says it's a weather balloon. And it just went off course. The United States says it's no threat. The Pentagon's like, there's no reason to shoot it down. We've neutered it. We've spayed it. It's not going to track anything or spy on us or anything like that. But boy, folks like, Biden letting the balloon float by, not shoot it down. Trump would have shot it down. The extreme left and right, man, just mind-blowing. How do the Republicans one-up the Democrats and their dopey socialist agenda? They wear these assault weapon pins on their lapel. Just unbelievable. I don't know a single human being. I've never met them. I'm sure they exist. We could Google it, and there's a handful of people in the United States of America that want to get rid of the Second Amendment. I've never met one or ever heard a human being in my presence talk about that. You got to get rid of that Second Amendment, repeal the Second Amendment. I know they exist in America. How many of them? Who are they? I've never heard anyone of any kind of influence or significance say, let's get rid of the Second Amendment. But just wearing a assault weapon pin on your lapel in Congress, oh boy, America in this polarizing political situation. In 20, 30, 40 years, history will look back at these lunatic leftists, these wacky right-wingers, and will be very critical of them. Part of the problem in America right now. Hey, Fury's Restaurant in Metairie, so good. They're open till 9 p.m. tonight. Local, fresh seafood exclusively. I know I'm always saying this, but it's a big deal because your little neighborhood seafood restaurant, I guarantee you, chances are much better than not, they're not serving local and fresh seafood exclusively. They might be using Chinese crab meat in their au gratin. You really can't tell the difference. Using tilapia instead of speckled trout. You really can't tell the difference. Using crawfish from South America. You really can't tell the difference. Yes, you can. You really can tell the difference. Experience the best seafood in the world. Our local fresh seafood. Never anything frozen. Never anything from out of state or out of the country. They're open till 9 p.m. Fury's Restaurant in Metairie.
Rouse's, New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's has the only full-service grocery stores both in the French Quarter on Royal Street and in the CBD on Baronne in the old Sewell Cadillac building. The Rouse's on the river, Tchoupitoulas at Napoleon, is in a century-old warehouse. And uptown on Ferret at the corner of Valence is Rouse's all-new boutique store. With 7 locations in Orleans Parish, Rouse's is New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's Markets. Taste like home.
The city's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa with 4 area locations: New Orleans, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and Metairie. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. NOLA.woodhousespas.com.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live. We live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
At Helm Paint, we go the extra mile with free delivery anywhere in the metro area. In the middle of a job and short on paint? Call us and we'll come to you.
Short on time? Call in your order and pick it up in the drive-thru at our Earhart Boulevard location.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
When a young man comes in and they walk into our store and you can see they're a little intimidated. Last week, I saw the young man. I said, "Hey, what can I do to give you a hand?" He said, "Well, I'm here for an engagement ring, but I don't think I'm in the right place." So I got him to my desk, and within an hour, he had purchased an engagement ring, had spent $1,000, and he was treated like he spent a lot more, and I'm sure we have a customer for life. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
This seems hard to believe, but it's on Twitter, so it must be true. No, it is actually true. Current weather conditions on Mount Washington in New Hampshire. Current weather conditions on Mount Washington in New Hampshire. Wind gusts hitting 140 miles an hour. Peak winds at 140 miles an hour. And the wind chill dropping the temperature to a feels like 110 below zero. 110 degrees Fahrenheit below zero with winds gusting at 140 miles an hour. That's in the continental United States. Mount Washington in New Hampshire. No, there's no human being up there. There's some observatory with a camera. And I retweeted it at Corey Johnson on my Twitter, and it's insane. Mount Washington in New Hampshire, wind gusts reaching over 140 miles an hour, and wind chill feel like temperature of negative 110 below zero. That's insane. Never heard of anything like that don't want to experience anything like that. Wow. Hey, it's going to be a great weather weekend all the way through at least Monday. You got a paint project you want to knock out? There are 7 different Helm Paint and Decorating locations, East Bank, West Bank, North Shore, and you can get free 2-hour delivery from Helm. Got a paint project you want to knock out? Do it once, do it right. They'll steer you in the right direction. Helm Paint and Decorating. That goes in the no-brainer category. Doesn't it, Blue Boy? Helm Paint and Decorating, a New Orleans tradition for over half a century. Why would you go to another paint store? Blue Boy, you're right on the money as usual. What else? Thank Jason and everybody watching and listening. Have a safe weekend. See you Monday. Blue Boy, couldn't have said it better myself. Down, buddy.
You're on
down.
the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum
buddy.
Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
Hi, it's Ken Friend from Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business. Come see us over on Maple Street in Uptown.
Friend & Company Fine Jewelers, Breitling time, 6 p.m.